Hello guys, what's up? This is Murtaza. Welcome back to a Coder Journey. This is the next episode of my object-oriented programming in C# series here at my channel. And in the last video, we talked about properties and how properties can help us achieve encapsulation. In this video, I'm going to talk about inheritance, which is also a very important concept in object-oriented programming, and then I'm going to take you, as always, to Visual Studio to show you exactly how you can implement inheritance. But before that, let's talk about inheritance to kind of understand what inheritance is all about and what are some of the benefits of inheritance. Now, inheritance in C# or in object-oriented programming languages allows us, or allows a class to inherit some fields and methods from another class. So basically, you're going to have a parent class or a base class or a super class, and then you're going to have some child classes or derived classes or subclasses. These words are interchangeable, right? So the class you are inheriting from, it is sometimes called the super class, parent class, base class, and the class which is inheriting from a super class, it is called child class, derived class, or subclasses. So this concept is organized into two categories, right? As I told you, the derived class, which inherits, and the base class, which is inherited from. In C#, inheritance is achieved using the colon symbol. In, for example, TypeScript, we use the extends keyword, right? One of the main advantages of inheritance, right, is code duplication or getting rid of code duplication. So basically, you are writing a piece of code once in a base class, and then you can have many subclasses inheriting from that base class. So I can say that code reusability, or being able to reuse a piece of code that you have written once many times, right? One of the main benefits of using inheritance. Now, as before, let's make our way to Visual Studio and see how inheritance is achieved in C#. So here I am in Visual Studio. I have added another project to my solution, episode 8, and I am going to show you how to implement inheritance. Now let us go on and add a class. I'm going to call this class car, let's say, right? And I'm going to say rename class 1 to car, and also rename file, right? And then I'm going to say, let's say, motorbike. So this class is also public. The car class is also public. So, car. One of the properties of a car could be, let's say, by the way, in the last video I told you about properties. We have a concept called auto implemented properties or auto properties. In order to get an auto implemented property, you can use the prop code snippet and then add press tab from your keyboard. There are also other snippets. For example, if you use prop full, you can get a property, right, with a backing field, right? I'm not gonna get into these in this video. We have, for example, prop G, right? Prop G has a private setter. Anyway, I'm gonna say that for car I need a max speed, right? And I'm gonna need a color. So the color is gonna be a string, right? And then for car, I'm gonna declare a method. Let's say public void speed up, right? And I'm gonna say int amount, for example, and then let's say private int current speed, and I'm gonna initialize this with 0, and current speed equals amount, right? So this is a very basic abstraction, a very basic, representation of a concept of car, right? We've got max speed, we've got color, we've got current speed, and we've got the speed up method. And let's say that for motorbike, we also need these properties, right? But for car, we need something which is specific to a car. For example, I can say public string, let's say steering wheel position. It could be left or right, right? And by default, it's going to have a right, let's say, let's declare this as a property, right? So by default, it's going to be the right. But for motorbike, it doesn't make sense to have a steering wheel position, right? So if you kind of compare the definition of a motorbike and a car, you can see that there is a lot of code duplication. So for both of these, right, we've got max speed, we've got color, but for the car, we've got steering wheel position, which doesn't make sense for a motorbike, right? And then we've got current speed, which is a private field, and then we've got speed up. Now, as I told you, inheritance can help us achieve code reusability. Or in other words, it can help us get rid of code duplication. So in order to get rid of this code duplication, and code duplication, by the way, is a code smell. So whenever you come across a code base with a lot of code duplication, with a lot of copy-pasted code, right? That's a sign that you need to redesign probably the system or think about, other ways to refactor the code. Anyway, if I want to get rid of this code duplication, if I want to achieve code reusability, one of the ways is through inheritance, and that's how I'm going to achieve that. I'm going to create a class, and a motorbike and a car, both of them can be represented as a vehicle. So I'm going to say vehicle. So this is a public class, right? And let us go to this. I'm going to say var car equals new car, right? And then I'm going to say var motorbike equals new motorbike. And right now for motorbike, I have access to max speed. For motorbike, I have access to the color, right? And I also have access to speed up. And that is exactly speed up by, let's say, 10. And this is exactly true for car as well, right? So I'm going to say car, right? Let's say max speed is 200. The color is red, and I'm going to increase by 30. So these properties and these methods are declared in the car class and in the motorbike class, but they are the same. There's a lot of code duplication. So the solution, or one of the solutions, is to extract the code duplication, right, in the car class, or the common code between the car class and the motorbike class, and then put them in this vehicle class. So in the the common code for these two is this piece of code in the motorbike. I put it here, and then I go to the car class. In the car class, we just need the steering wheel, because the other properties and the other method, we extracted that and we put it in the vehicle class. So right now, vehicle contains the common code, right, for car and motorbike. The max speed, color, current speed, and speed up. So that means that motorbike is empty, right, is empty. And the car class has only one specific property that makes sense just for a car, steering wheel position, right? And the motorbike doesn't have such a property. It could have such a property. It could have, I don't know, something which is specifically used for motorbikes. But if I go to program.cs, I see that I get a lot of errors. Why? Because the car class doesn't contain max speed, color, speed up anymore, right? Because we kind of removed those code elements. And also the motorbike doesn't contain max speed, color, or speed. So we kind of extracted the common code and we put that code in the vehicle class. The last step is to inherit from this superclass, right? This base class, this parent class. And the way to do that in C# is to use the colon keyword. So I can say that I want to inherit from vehicle. For motorbike, I want to inherit from vehicle, right? And now if I go to my program class, I can see that right now the motorbike and the car contain the members that they inherited from the base class, from the parent class. And that was it, guys, for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If that's the case, please make sure you subscribe to Coder Journey so that you do not miss out any of my upcoming videos. Stay tuned. Bye bye.